Hey everyone, Phi Farley here. It is December 18th. Happy Friday, everybody. Got a college basketball best bet. I'm going to get to the game as quickly as possible as we're burning daylight here into the afternoon. First games are all tipping off here around 2 o'clock, so I want to get into this game. It's a little later tonight as quickly as I can. I got to tell you, though, a lot of games, good games, but none I love. And unfortunately, there's some really good games that are going to be great to watch, and I don't have a strong opinion on those games. I'm talking about Richmond, Loyola Chicago. Great undervalued teams, both of them. Richmond undervalued, Loyola Chicago undervalued. Chicago really steps up in these games. So does Richmond. It's a very tough pick. The Ken Palm has it as a 1 point line. Line is currently 1.5 for Richmond. Seen some bigger money coming in on Loyola Chicago. Very, very tough call. The other one, Davidson, Rhode Island. Really like both these teams. Really like the undervaluing of both those teams early on. Rhode Island, very, very tough schedule. Line has moved towards Davidson. Bigger money on Davidson. I think there was value at 5 and at 4. Now down to 2. Not so sure there's as much value as I would like to make that a play. So I've been working really hard to get you guys a winner and make sure that we cash in again tonight off another winning day yesterday, 3-1, and the best bet cashing yesterday. Want to make sure we follow it up with a good Friday. My play is posted on patreon.com/PhiFarley. You can check all those out. They're posted, this one already, as well as some other games already posted over there. One thing I want to remind you of, though, before I get into the best bet, is we have a lot of back-to-back games opening up. We're going to see it here with, let me bring up a couple examples that we're talking about. We'll see it with, the St. Peter's, Monmouth, Drake, South Dakota, who else? Iona, Ryder. So you're going to see a lot of back-to-backs in those conferences. Be aware on where those lines were and where they are in the second game. Great way to cash a ticket is to play the opposite side of those lines. Be mindful of that as you watch the game the first time and then also again the second time, as they're going to be back-to-back. Very unique to 2020 and an area of which we can exploit some lines that'll probably be off going into those games. So like I said, if the first game is on one side of the line, look for it to fall on the other side of the line in the second game, especially if it's an oddity. If it's a, high-level defense, probably not going to get the same level of defense on the second game. The team that wins will typically stay complacent. The team that loses will typically make changes up their game for the second game. So look for a little more balance in the second game as opposed to the first one. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, let's talk best bet. All right. A little later tonight, we got Big Sky action tipping off. Speaking of going back-to-backs, here's one for you. Weber State, Portland State. Now, these two teams are pretty evenly balanced, but one key thing here that I think is missing in this line is the total. The total's at 146.5. I like the over in this game. Weber State is a little slower tempoed and has decent defense. However, Portland State is very erratic. Watching them last year, very high tempoed, full court press, but then they give up a lot of easy buckets and they score some easy buckets on their side. I'll be honest, it's a little messy. They're not, the defense is just, looking at Ken Palm, 329th in the country as a Big Sky team. That's pretty bad. 24th though in pace. So there you go. Exactly what I'm talking about. I've watched them live before. It's a very messy press defense that creates a lot of easy buckets. And that's exactly what Weber's going to try and exploit. If we look at last year's game between these two teams, you'll see a lot of lower scoring games coming into it like they have had this year against bigger teams. I'm looking at Weber State against Utah. They scored 109 total. Against Murray State, 137. Against Wright State, 129. So I don't want to be deterred by that with this line sitting at 146.5 because watch what happens when they played Portland State. They got to 168. Then they played Portland State later in the year, 172 against Portland State. So Portland State will bring out a high-scoring game in the other team because of that press and because of that sloppy defense that is frankly fairly ineffective. But it is a higher-paced game, and that's what I expect to see here. Given last year totals jumped way, way up. I think 146.5 is way undervalued for this particular Big Sky matchup. As I get into Big Sky play, look for the defense to subside, higher scoring games with most of these teams. Portland State, Weber State, over the 146.5 daily best bet. Good luck, everyone, here on a Friday. Huge slate tomorrow. Can't wait for it. Again, Gonzaga, Iowa, first half over. Can't wait to see what that line is going to be. I'm taking it no matter what. Good luck. We'll see you again soon.